Hey guys and girls, it's Mark. I'm Truth Seeker over at the Mars Anomaly Research Channel, and I want to thank everybody for all your support. Really appreciate it. Um, I'm a small little channel, trying to trying to dig down to the truth. It's not always easy. You know, to get something like this out and to get this information to the people. It really depends on all you guys sharing and doing what you do. You tell somebody, and like I said 1,000 times, a channel like this is you don't do this to make money on this type of channel. I mean, you make a couple dollars to pay for your software a month and stuff like that, but you're not quitting your job. You're doing the guys and girls that have these channels. We do them because we love it. If people that are in this for the money, they put out vlogs and video game, stuff like that. Videos. So the people that if you go down to you know, some of the channels that I support, you'll see this guy's got to come off there. I don't know why that's still on there, but that I got to get off. But you'll see some of these channels like What's Up in the Sky, Mars Anomalies, Mars Unmasked, Olympus Sky, Dabu 77. I mean, some of his new stuff is pretty cool, and BP, some of his stuff is pretty cool. And Amazon KC is another researcher. I mean, she's got some great videos. These are the people that I really support. So it's important. It's important that we try to get this word out. We cross promote. We all share and mention each other. I believe that's important. If you really are out there to get the truth out, you want people to go to other people's channels and so on. You want, if your heart's really in this, that's what you want. You want people to go to other people's channels. You want to cross promote. You want this thing to grow to where one day you're going to turn on your local news and you're going to see YouTubers discovered, and it's going to be undeniable. All right, enough with that. You got a chance to take a look at the last video I did. I put together my top 10 anomalies, not from other. I don't like taking other people's work, and I don't even like asking other people permission. you know but this is just my stuff, and I put a top 10 together, and to me, I believe it's if you watch that, there's got to be at least one anomaly in there that you're like, oh my god, this is incredible. All right, enough. We're gonna go to Soul 950. There's a pretty I think it's cool. I'm sure you're gonna think the same, and I mean, this is just to me, I believe it's just some type of grave marker, monument grave marker, and why NASA left it in there, like I say, either somebody's leaking this stuff out or it's a mistake. There's no other way around it. About 40% of this picture is real. You're probably looking at about the other, 55% of it is fudged in some way. But there's about 45-50% of this picture that's there. I mean, it's real. So let me show you. This is the image in NASA's website. 950. It's supposed to be raw. We all know that's bullshit, because raw images are not going to have compression marks in them, and there's just no way around that. An uncompressed TIFF file is basically a raw image. These are JPEGs, and the resolution is knocked down to some stupid level. Basically, what they're doing is they're taking these pictures on I believe, an ultra high resolution camera with a hell of a lens from a distance, and sometimes they fudge in tracks to make it look like they're closer. But and then they're just breaking these up into little photos. So when you go to zoom in, you're not going to get much detail unless you really know what you're doing. you know how to resample an image and enlarge it and stuff like that. But you know, the average person is going to come by, look at this picture, and go, "Wow, that's cool. Hey, all right, I'm going to have my coffee and I'm going to work." But not me, and not a handful of researchers. We're not having any of that bullshit. We, you know, us researchers, we always dig. So let's see what I found this time. Okay, here we are in Photoshop. There's a couple cool things in this image. There's a lot of artifacts in these souls. All right. Basically, you're going to be going to the back, upper corner. I'm sure you could see it already. I don't know what kind of rock naturally grows like that, but of course, if you've watched under a little 300, I think I had about a little under 300 videos. If you watch my videos, I mean, we know that there's some type of life, or primitive life was on Mars. I mean, look at pieces like this. I mean, you could see where it was like either painted in. And NASA just comes in and puts this funky little layer over their stuff. But this is the one. This is what I really wanted to show you. Look at that. Now that's a pyramid shape. You could see that there was some type of animal's face carved onto the front of this. There's one of the eyes, the other eye. You can see the nose area. You come down to the mouth area. There's all types of carvings in it. You could see either NASA or the computer started to fudge it up here. And let me switch into here for a second. Now this is in the yellow plate. When I make videos, most of the time I don't show, but I mean, most people don't care. But I always check back and forth with these plates, and I could see where they came in. There's parts of it that they really wanted to fudge. Somehow either this was leaked out or it's a mistake, because stuff like this will usually have this in front of it. See how they put these heavy blur boxes in front of it, and then they paint over it. You guys see this object is really here. It's a real object. It's some type of stone. You see what I mean about see what they're editing and manipulation. When you come into the yellow plate, what you'll do is you come up to view. What you'll do is you'll go up to view, proof, setup, and then you could pick yellow plate. And then you can easily see where they're fudging the image. That's how I get my number of 35 to maybe 40% of this image is real. See, you could really see it. Really makes stuff like this pop out. See the eyes, the mouth, the ear. See how they carved this stuff into these stones? You see the little statue next to it? I mean, rocks just do not grow like this. I mean, one, maybe, you know, if this was in one out of maybe 100 pictures, hey, you'd say, hey, that's, you know, chances. But in every image, it looks like there's grave marker statues, or, you know, statues of animals. I mean, you just name it. So, and NASA knows. I mean, this is, you know, most people know too. They just are having a hard time accepting all this. I mean, I believe NASA and our government are slowly desensitizing people, because they know they can't keep this under wraps much longer. So, And if this stuff breaks, it's going to open up a whole new bag of worms. I mean, I believe that this stuff has to do with aliens and, craft that have been seen. Back to the Battle of L.A. I think that was in 47 or something, in the 40s. And then you have Roswell. I believe that we were, that they felt that it was time that they contacted us. And I believe there's just other species. I mean, they may look a little different than us, but you know, it's not. I believe we were all created by one. So for me, it's not a big jump that there's life elsewhere. I mean, I believe our whole solar system is just teeming with life. So it's not a, and I think people are starting to realize it now with these pictures of Pluto and so. All right, and there was one other piece I wanted to show you. There's a lot in this, but I'm not going to go on all day. So let me show you the other piece, and then I'm out of here. Okay, here's a perfect example of what a rock isn't. Okay? This is what NASA wants you to believe a rock is. I mean, look at this stuff. This stuff is really here. See how they just come in and just blurred this right out? See how they came in, just blurred out huge sections of this, and then they just fill it in. Look at these. Look at this stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots in that pattern. Nature's pretty creative. Now let's take a look and see how manipulated this is. So now you get a sense of what I'm saying, that we're seeing maybe, when I pick an anomaly out, there's usually about 35 to 40% of the picture that I'm left to work with. So, and in those little areas, either they're making mistakes or they're leaving this stuff here on purpose for us. It's pretty cool. Nature's got a hell of a sense of humor. These are some nasty looking faces. Just blurred that whole piece right out. Alright, guys and girls. I'll give you the link down in the description to this. There's, stuff everywhere in this image. I encourage you to take some time. When you see stuff like this, you just blot right across. Just for F's sake, look at this right across here. I always try to show you guys some pretty cool stuff. I mean, look at this. You're supposed to believe that this is a friggin' shadow. I mean, if somebody from NASA was in front of me, I'd whack him in the head with a friggin' baseball bat. I mean, this is just an insult. I mean, and the sad thing is people download this picture and take a quick look and they believe that that's a shadow. I mean, and then they come in and they just fill in you know, and it's just mind-boggling that there's not hundreds of millions of people standing up screaming. I just don't understand it. This is the biggest secret of mankind. Are we alone? Of course we're not alone. We are not alone. We are just not alone. I'll see you in the next one.